I'm this close to like, but
Within the Karamojong tribe in northeastern Uganda, right at the age of the pearl, women have been subjected to the most harmful of traditions for generations. Child marriage has been a rite of passage, seeing teenage girls married off for a handful of cows. Once married off, a child bride is not only robbed of her childhood, but also her right to education. Now, while the rest of the pearl stood aloof with the saying, "We shall not wait for Karamoja to develop," in 2015, the Ugandan government made an effort to end this violation of women's rights.
We want society free from child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
However, 15 years before that, a frustrated little girl was determined to break free from the chains of tradition and write her own story. Now she's gone on to become Karamoja's most celebrated doctor. Dr. Faith's story has inspired an army of little girls taking charge of their destiny with her as their general. We drove to Karamoja to see and feel this ongoing feminist movement.
So this morning, when my alarm went off, it was 5 a.m. I was in my sweet bed. And guys, 12 hours later, here I am on my way to Karamoja to meet Dr. Faith.
Faith Nangiro is the medical officer at Amudat Hospital in Karamoja. She is also an advocate for girls' education. Born and raised in Karamoja, Nangiro was only 5 years old when she rebelled against her father's orders and took herself to school. Tired of seeing her tribe mates walk for miles just to get basic medical treatment in the neighboring town, Faith vowed to become their personal doctor. But before she could complete her secondary school, she returned home to an arranged marriage. Faith was very vocal about her desire to finish school first and rebelled once again. The locals cast her out and called her a traitor, but just like her name, Faith stuck to her guts. And now that she wears the doctor's crown, she has made it her aim to return to Karamoja and inspire other young girls.
So I'll be going to Mudat Hospital, where Dr. Faith is the medical officer. She has agreed to let me shadow her for a day. I get to be a doctor for a day, people. I love my job. You calling me Doctor who?
Dr. Ann.
Doctor? Damn.
Now, while the legal age for marriage in Uganda is 18 years, in poorer regions like Karamoja, tradition overrides the law, with over half of the young girls being married off well before this age.
Thank you.
The mother is so young.
Oh,
Really?
yeah, it's true. You may be older than her. But if she tells you the number of children she's having, you may not believe.
You told me she has how many?
Mama, do you think you want to get that?
Sister,
Four.
Yes, 4 children.
Wow.
we're repeating the HB again. Out of 6.8.
With her academic achievements, Faith could have chosen to lavish under the shade of her hard-earned freedom and thrive outside this cultural bubble she calls home. But she didn't.
Elsewhere, there are so many doctors, they're exposed. You can't even choose a specialist. But back here, like not in the whole district, there are just 3 doctors. So at one point, if it's off for the meeting, and maybe that is also in the meeting, or it's in this health facility, it's about 65 kilometers away. Around town, I'm like the only one.
You're the only one.
Yeah. So now, this is where people really, the place where people don't have so many opportunities to see so many doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if me at Karamoja, I can't come, then who else?
Who else can?
Yes. You know what you hear about Karamoja? You hear about them, we are naked, we are what, we are backward. So when you come and find us dirty, you're like, oh. But then for me, I understand. These are my people, and when I talk to them, they will understand. Yeah, so I really came back to give back to the people when I'm still energetic. I'm still excited.
It fulfills you, huh?
Yeah. The second one, I wanted people to normalize taking girl children to school.
Wow.
So I wanted people really to see that it's okay to educate a girl. It's okay to be worked on by a girl. Like girls can reach,
Yeah.
those heights. So if someone wants to be a doctor and it's a girl around here, they'll be privileged to have seen one.
For most of these teenage moms, dreams are a luxury they can't afford. Seen as a source of wealth for their poor families in the form of cows, they find themselves stuck in a gruesome cycle of poverty. I spoke with a teenage mom and her mother.
Tipi le burtini kito ke ya to muche kije tu mone tan ke ko rupi ke mli se mone tan ko ngara kanan ato jitini te kete ke ole kum mi nyalo le sinyo ki mondo ke mone tan jo kumbura.
Do you think it's too late for you to go to school?
Balong telinde mung tanya gire kalam ki kuani metalope lope yut. Entol kuna nya dakdaru.
A doctor? All right, this is like the So we got something small for the new mother. So some cups, some this, all for the new baby, huh? Okay?
Mama?
Mama? Mama. Ah. Oh, I'm also tearing. No, is it? I'm crying too now. City? Thank you so much, Mama.
Once the skies cleared, we set off for Namalu, Faith's home village, to know what life was like growing up as a Karamojong girl.
Hey!
Hello, come home.
Oh, thank you.
I want to first make you Karamoja. Yeah. You look good.
I look officially Karamojong.
Yes.
How many
I
cows?
can trade you for some cows. Let's go and see my mom.
All right.
My dad.
Is it for kneeling down, Mama Muganda?
Somehow we don't kneel down here.
It's a hug. Look at that.
Yeah. Maybe for the dad.
For the dad, we go all the way.
So I'm sure you're wondering how we put this here.
Wow.
Aren't you wondering? This is not cement.
Wow.
This is mud, actually.
Look at that.
And as Karamojong women, we do this by ourselves.
No, but I was born for this. This is soothing.
Yes.
It's like if you're angry at someone, just put it out.
You're not smearing.
Oh, sorry. Okay, fine.
Like that.
So just right in this house, we had like a family meeting. So I told them I really want to study. Where the school fees is going to come from is really none of my business.
That's what you want.
Yes, for
That's
me,
your
I want
dream.
to become a doctor by hook or crook. So the rest will really sort out. I've already come a long way. Yes, like enough, my father's like, if you do not want, we will not force you. Yeah, of course, most people would look at me in the village and be like, this traitor, she smiles, but she's ill-mannered. How could she?
Yeah.
How did she? But I knew what I wanted, really. And I said it's not going to take forever. They will realize. And probably they will swallow their
What
words.
keeps you going, Faith? Like, I'm just,
Yes,
this is
Faith.
wild. Faith, right. Why was it so necessary for you to finish school?
One, you know, when you come from a family where you're really just seeing poverty around and you want to change the narrative, you want to change the story, you want people to see that, you know, you can come out of this family, this community and still thrive. We don't choose where we are born or we grew up from, but we have a choice to choose where to go.
The COVID-19 pandemic has brought the world to a standstill, but some regions have been more affected than others. For instance, cases of child marriage and teenage pregnancy have since doubled in Karamoja. We went to Faith's first school to see how it has been affected.
My P5 class, so it's in this school that all started. I think I sat here.
Is this cool that you changed your name to Faith?
Yes, and I said in this very class.
His duster?
Yeah, a lot of dust, lockdown,
I
pandemic.
know.
These children have not been in school for over 2 years, so these classes have not been used.
2 years, no school.
I mean, most of them, when the country talks about online lessons, that makes sense to this part of the region.
Yeah.
Because people don't have the televisions, they don't have those radios, and people just do the fetching water and, doing housework.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the girls are exposed to these opportunists who do not really understand what a girl child has to go through. So and people have taken this advantage to marry off the girls. If you're like me, the senior SKP, we just have only one place that takes our SKPs.
Where?
So there is a school, it's called Kalas Girls. It's also a school like this one, but for them, in addition to the normal school program, they also take in the SKPs.
How do you feel as a teacher that children have been out of school for almost 2 years now?
Of course, most of these children come from within. We are able to interact with them, and so many of them also have got pregnant and so on. So it's so sad, and many of them are growing so fast. You see that they are growing, they are getting wasted, and they are not learning anything. So it's so sad as a teacher. For me, it's so painful. We hope that the government will open the schools.
We shared a moment of silence for the 15 million Ugandan learners that are out of school because of the pandemic. We hope and pray that schools will reopen swiftly. Amen. Now, on my second day in Karamoja, I spoke to a man nearby whose wife was barely in her teens when he married her.
So is your wife educated?
My wife went up to P7.
P7, okay.
Yeah.
And you?
Up to university.
You went up to university?
Yeah.
So, Franco, let me ask, if you went up to university, why did you get a wife who stopped in P7?
I didn't have cows. That's why even I'm still have a debt for that woman.
How many cows were those that you had to get?
They won 40.
40 cows for someone who stopped in P7?
Yeah.
So, if someone stopped at university, how many cows would those be?
It's more than.
So the more educated?
It's more cows.
Is more cows. Okay. What age is the perfect age for marriage according to the culture?
It's 15.
15?
Yeah, 15 years.
Wow.
These people can take these girls up to a level of P1, P2, as they wait their age to reach that level.
Or 15 or 14.
15. They withdraw the girl, come home, and they put their dresses. You have seen these dresses?
Yeah.
It's called Loroi.
Old roi.
Loroi.
Roi.
Le
roi. Okay, le
So
roi.
if this is boys, see this girl, it's called Loroi because it keep on waving like this.
It's waving.
Yeah, just waving like this. So they withdraw the girls after they see their breasts have come out.
Yeah.
That's the time now they like it.
Oh.
While schools have been closed for over 18 months, an outlier, Kalas Girls' School, keeps its gates open, serving as a lighthouse for girls escaping the storms of child marriage and female genital mutilation practiced in this part of Karamoja.
I finally got that Lurwa skirt, and I don't know how to walk in. I don't know if Faith is going to teach me how to walk the right way because I'm just used to keeping the bounce going. The welcome.
The number of girls has quadrupled during the pandemic as many of them felt unsafe with their families and ran away from home in pursuit of their happiness.
When you dance, you shake the chest. Hey, that's right. Hey, that's it.
Dr. Faith is a celebrated heroine and role model as these girls aspire to be just like her.
I see myself in you when I was little. You made a right decision to run from early marriage. Okay? Yes. Don't you think that was a right decision? Yes. Actually, for that boldness, first clap for yourselves. When I was also faced with the challenge of early marriage,
I was supposed to be married off. The cows were already ready. People already had the meetings. I was approached whether I could, get married. And yet I wanted to finish school. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be that first female doctor so that I can inspire other girls. People think the doctor is supposed to be what? Supposed to be a man, right? Supposed to be a man with the, glasses. Maybe you had some tummy. And then for me, I'm here, no glasses, no tummy. Yes, but I decided that I'm not going to get married. I'm going to complete school first. Sometimes you may not have the school fees. And most of our girls choose to marry. That should never be an option, okay? It should never be an option. I didn't have school fees. I dropped out of school. I stayed for 1 whole term after senior 4, but I could not succumb to marriage. Even if you're the only person who's educated in your family, you are going to be the light in that family. So you keep the faith, finish school. When you go back, they will thank you. Because if I'd married now, who would be helping that hospital? So I'm here to tell you the decision is right. It's not going to be easy, but you should know that this is what I want. I made this decision until I get to the crown.
Right now, all schools in Uganda are closed.
They are closed.
But Kalas Girls Primary School,
it is active.
It has been very active. Why?
It is a traditional practice here where they force girls to get married at an early age. And FGM.
Female genital mutilation.
Yeah, that one. You find that children at home are getting very many chances of being in contact with their parents, to the extent that parents had started deceiving them that the lockdown is going to spend over 5 years. Now there is no hope for education, and then they resorted to giving them off for marriage. And what they could do, just run back to school. So the school was identified by the district, at least to be as a rescue center in a district that accommodates girls who run away from their homes. And we work hand in hand with the police.
Do you have any backlash from some of their parents who maybe come saying that they want their daughters?
Yeah, they come and they try to disguise that maybe I'm sick, I want my daughter to come and help me. But we keep focused. We don't feel like releasing these girls. Why? The mom, even the girls themselves can tell that, sister, don't let her, no, don't let him take me home. Yes. Otherwise, there are mothers who keep on coming to check on their daughters.
So does that mean that some of these mothers are actually, the situation is out of their control?
Of course.
So they're happy that their children have run away?
Some mothers, mothers.
Yes.
Some of them feel like, let my daughter be there, other than staying at home. Yes, the practice is commonly done by men.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
I had a chat with one of the girls who was only 12 when she ran away from her family.
How old are you?
I'm 14 years old.
You're 14? Wow. So in which year did they want you to get married? Which year was that?
It was 2019.
2 years ago?
Yes, 2 years ago.
Wow, you were only 12 years old.
When it reached time for Corona, I went home. Then they told me I was supposed to be given for marriage. Then that's the time I ran here.
Why did you choose not to get married? Why did you run here?
I chose to come here because I wanted education. I wanted to become a doctor.
Yeah. What type of doctor?
Surgeon.
Operating on what part of the body? Do you know it?
Yes, the brain.
The brain! Do you ever miss home?
Now I cannot miss home. I'll just know the problems, then I just decide to stay here. Because those people need animals.
Yeah.
I think if I go home, they will want to give me again out, which I don't want.
I understand. And so how have you found being here in the school during the lockdown, during this Corona season?
Now when we are here, I stay safe and I feel happy. that I've got education.
Yes.
And again, I have no disturbance. Like when I go home, I will be disturbed. I'm just happy and I'm free.
Yes.
With a strong support system of empowered women, surely the dreams of these girls are in safe hands. This feminist movement marks the genesis of a gender-equal Karamoja.
I've learned from Dr. Faith's story that also she was like us, and she managed the problems she was under, and she has become now a doctor, and I also want to become like her.
Soon, the darkness will be forgotten, but her name will forever be remembered.